Hello, namaste, sound check. Hello, namaste, sound check. Sound check passed. So we'll begin shortly. Michelle Cook Hill. Hello, Michelle. How are you? Says a good day, MMA. Namaste. Lizette Vargas. Hello, Lizette. How are you? Thanks for joining. Says namaste, namaste. Just gonna share this on the page here. Share the links. And by the way, when you share this live feed to other groups or on your fan page or on your wall or any other page, you have an opportunity to get a drawing and win one-on-one session with Moksha Mukti Apollo. So if you share, you can win a one-on-one session, and we can go live one-on-one session with Moksha Mukti for half an hour, 15 minutes to half an hour or longer, and we can do via Skype or even the Facebook Messenger, live Facebook Messenger, or via phone, whichever is convenient for you. So I'm just going to share this right there. Share this event on the page here. There's a couple other pages I got to share this. In the meantime, Lizard said, can you share anything with me, please? Yes, Lizard, this is live talks and things will happen here. It is happening and things will happen here. Just be patient, and anything and everything that comes in your mind, feel free to share or ask questions, and Moksha Mukti shall speak regarding that. Or if anything appears on Moksha Mukti's consciousness that he recognizes that as a revelation, then he will share that with you. Okay, he's not going to speak something that he read. He's not going to speak about something that he heard. He's not going to do that, unless he may just share it if there's a trivial information, just for the relevant information. But other than that, Moksha Mukti is not going to speak unless there is questions, comment, concern that you write on the comment section, or you can wait. You can wait for someone to write a comment, and Moksha Mukti shall speak regarding that also. Michelle writes, I am wondering if you can help me understand what areas of my life I should be focusing on. There is only one area that is Moksha Mukti is pointing, that is already within you, that Moksha Mukti calls the source or the quantum plexus. And he is simply pointing you to that, and that area is observing everything, observing your mind, body, heart, feelings, thoughts, emotions, and everything. He's simply pointing you to give your attention to that while you're here for a few seconds to a few minutes, however long you can, and whenever you go. See, carry that attention within you. You see. However, is it possible to carry that all the time? Yes, it's possible, but there are other situations. It may not be possible because you will need to give attention to the thought, and you use thought to function in the society. You see, right now even Moksha Mukti is thinking or using the mind to share this event here on this page, so others can join in and ask questions, talk with Moksha Mukti. So now it's been shared in multiple places, and although you also have an opportunity to share on your wall or different groups, and then win a session with Moksha Mukti, one-on-one session, just you and Moksha Mukti via Skype or Facebook Messenger. See, so you can win that opportunity by sharing this page. So okay, so I said I have published this posts. So I posted this here. Okay, so it's been posted in multiple places, and so I'm going to go back to the line. Then we have Chris Pierce says good morning. Good morning, Chris. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Tanya Edison. Hello, Tanya. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Says, I've been going through a lot of heartbreaks, my family. Yes, okay. So you're here to talk about your heartbreaks, your experience. And Moksha Mukti is pointing you to see that. He's pointing you to see where the heartbreak is coming from within your functionality and experiencing, although it may appear as it is coming from outside source such as family, but it's not. See, that's why we're here to validate, explore, inquire, investigate, validate where is the heartbreak is coming from. You may think it's coming from outward. No, it's not coming from outward. The heartbreak is coming from inward, and he's pointing you to see that, pointing you to experience that, pointing you to see the source. And it is also stemming from your thought. Heartbreak is exaggerated by your thoughts. See, I'm going to move this camera here a little closer so I can lean back. It's not really good on your back to kind of sit down like this for a long period of time. So yeah, that is also stem from your thought, you see. Okay. Simply pointing you to give your attention to the source. In the source, you'll be able to see how it happened in the reality, how you're functioning in the reality, and what is really causing you to be heartbreak. Of course, that may appear as it's coming from outward, and that is perceived like that. Yes, that's perception. That is true, but in the reality, it's not true. You see, there's something within you. It comes from there, and he's pointing you to experience that, recognize that, see that. You see. And Chris Pierce says, Namaste. Namaste, Chris. Tanya Edison says, thank you. You're welcome, Tanya. Yeah. Alicia McGuinness. Hello, Alicia. Thanks for joining. Namaste. And Alicia McGuinness says, good day, Moksha Mukti. Namaste. Namaste. Cindy Marisol says, hello, first time watching live. Hello, Cindy. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Glad you're here. Michelle Cook writes, heart. Namaste, heart. See, what Moksha Mukti is pointing in that, pointing to the source, you see, that includes heart. When you're just giving thinking, your thinking does not include heart. But what Moksha Mukti pointing to the source, that includes heart and thought, both. And it includes everything. You're not excluding anything. And that itself opens the possibilities for you. Infinite possibilities. Even the possibilities of miracle creating in your life. You see. And it simply requires your attention. And you are simply accepting what is happening. Accepting. In that acceptance, yes, there can be action taken. You see. Or remain here silently. Either way, you are accepting. And the action is seen as action, but in the reality, your action is reaction. Because there is only one action. The action of the existence or the universe. Only one action, everything else is reaction. But the thought says, no, I am taking action. No, in the reality, you are reacting. In the reality. Yuleila Troncaso. How are you? Namaste. She says, hello, namaste. And she writes, how can I recognize the source? Is it a feeling, a sensation, or a current? It may appear as all of those. All of those are included in your recognition of the source, in your experience of the source. They are all included. Your feelings, sensation, or a current, or vibrations, thoughts, heart, intuition, gut feeling, whatever you want to call it. Everything is included in there. Even what is happening outward, that you're watching this. Everything is included. And simply everything is happening. You see. And this is the existence. And you are one with the existence. Connected. You are already connected, but you recognize that you are connected. And then, so-called centered. There's a possibility for you to experience that centered. You see, some people talk about. But Moksha Mukti simply calls that source or the quantum plexus. You see, in there, all your life, whatever you're searching, whatever you're wanting. I think a lady here asked me a question. See if I can go back and find out who that is. Yeah, that was Michelle Cook Hill. Michelle was wondering what should she be focusing on, you see. And what she is actually searching for is how to be centered, you see. And the source, you are centered. And all your life, that is what is longing for. And that's what Michelle is longing for. And it is already available to you, right in within you now in this present moment. It simply requires your attention, and that attention allows you to investigate, explore, inquire, verify, and validate. You see, that is simply happening. Michelle writes that the thinking heart. No, everything is included there in there. The presence of the heart is included in the thought. In the thought, you see, you may assume or imagine about the heart, but the heart is not present. It is closed by the thought. But in the source, the heart is present with the thought, and everything is present, and you're simply observing. Andrea Ut Sabine says hello from Germany. Hello, Andrea. Thanks for joining. Namaste. And hello, Germany. We have someone from Germany. We have multiple people from all over the world joining this gathering, Moksha Mukti's gathering. And this gathering is simply happening. Teresa Hunter. Hello, Teresa. Thanks for joining. Namaste. And Teresa writes, hi, Moksha. I love my life. After many years of struggle from within and refusal to accept that my journey was one of my enlightenment, I now know my journey now, and everything is love, experience, and acceptance. Love your calm and spirit, and thank you for sharing your love. Well, thanks for sharing your experience, Teresa. We got Olga here. Olga from Washington. How are you, Olga? How are you doing today? Says good morning. Good morning. Also, it's also good morning here. It's early morning for you, isn't it? Thanks for joining. Thanks for acknowledging, that letting me know you are here. And Olga comes here regularly. And you may be hearing a slight echo or the background that is playing on the iPad here. And the reason it's playing is because I'm also listening to the sound, making sure there is no issue with the sound. Sometimes in the past, what has happened is that after some time, it either becomes like a chipmunk, the sound becomes like a chipmunk, like a high frequency, or the low frequency like a monster, you see. So there is some glitch in there, so Moksha Mukti is listening to that, and you may be hearing that, on the microphone, and that is coming back slightly, it may bother you, but you see, when you come to the source, nothing's going to bother you, right? Olga says, because I love to hear you, okay? Glad you joined, glad you're listening. And what Moksha Mukti is doing is simply pointing, and sometimes he's not speaking. And let the silence or the non-verbal, whatever this is, let it speak. And sometimes that speaks louder than the words, you see. Ruby Joyous says, help, I need a read. Hey, Ruby, thanks for joining. Namaste. Hey, Ruby, Moksha Mukti is not a reader or astrologer or psychic. So he's not going to read anything here. He is simply pointing you to something that is already available within you, and through that source or whatever that is, what Moksha Mukti calls the source or the quantum plexus, in there you can experience the past, present, and the future simultaneously. You see, and whatever you need to read is already within you. But Moksha Mukti is not reading anything here. He's simply pointing you to that. Just a relaxing back, you see. When you're sitting for a long time, this position is really not good for back. And so some stretching is going on sometimes, you see. And I've got a little cushion on the back to make sure that there's a support, you see. You got to take care of yourself, you see. Because there is a pain in physiological level, when something is not right, body will tell you that. Body will tell you something's not right. And when you learn to listen, or when you listen to the body will tell you a lot of things. And what Moksha Mukti is pointing that in the source, you see, your body's sensitivity of your body or the nervous system will be optimized. And in the reality, all your goal, everything you're seeking is to optimize your sensitivity of your nervous system or your body, so that you can listen to your body and do what your body is telling you to do. And then, you see, your problems will be minimized, your suffering will be minimized. But in the reality, you cannot end suffering. Everyone suffers. Everyone suffers. But that suffering is minimized when you don't give attention to the thought. Thought exaggerates suffering. Thought enhances suffering. Thought volumize suffering, and thought you make things suffer like you're suffering. Nancy Hall Kagan. Hello, Nancy. Good you're back. How are you? Namaste. Says, I've been enduring a nightmare for 11 years. Total hopelessness. Done. Yes, the nightmare is stemmed from the thought. It comes to the thought. You believe in your thought, you'll have nightmares. You see. Don't give attention to the thought. Don't believe in your thought. Total hopelessness is the language of the thought. Source is not hopeless. Source, there is no nightmare. You see. Source, there is simply observation, simply experiencing, simply happening. Khalid Wahidi says, hello Moksha. Hello Khalid, thanks for joining. Namaste. Alicia McGuinness. Hello Alicia. How are you? Thanks for joining again. Alicia says, let's talk addiction. Obviously the bigger part of the addiction is thought. My thought tells me that I will be your response. Laugh out loud. However, I am your experience. Is it also disease? I have struggled. Recently, I have learned how much of it is my own thought. I am. In the reality, Alicia, your thought is not your own thought. Every thought is taught to you, imposed upon you by your society. And you may be moving this thought and that thought and making your own, like getting two thoughts and organizing it and making your own. But reality, both two thoughts are not yours. It is stemmed from collective comprehensive thoughts collected by the society since the existence of the humans on the planet. And that collection is collected by your society and has been imposing upon you since the childhood. And that thought is not your. Even the thoughts, that says I am, is actually coming from your thought. You see. And Moksha Mukti is pointing you to the source. And that is available to you now in this present moment. Uh, Alicia says, who are struggling? So I would love to hear your input. Thank you. Alicia, who is that says that you're struggling? Who do you mean is struggling? Let's not assume anything. But that's a good question. But who is struggling? Who's that is struggling? Let's inquire, explore, investigate. Let's not assume anything. Assumption will actually cause you to struggle. Rod Coleman, hello Rod, thanks for joining. Namaste again. Multiple people are back again to this gathering, Moksha Mukti gathering. Says Moksha, hey there, I am just stopping through. Well, welcome. Welcome to your journey, wherever you are going. And Elizabeth Dabre Kakinos, I think you've been here before. Hello, Elizabeth says hello. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Alisa says, sorry, it was a continue from previous post. So your thought. So you're saying you're struggling. You are struggling. So it's hard to go back and forth, Alisa. So it kind of strains Moksha Mukti's back here. See, that's why it's kind of strain on the back to go sit through this and go through all this process. You see. But I kind of got it. So you're struggling. That's what you're saying. You're struggling. If you're struggling, who is that the one that is struggling? You see. Look within. See who is struggling. Who is that is struggling? Is your body struggling, or mind struggling, or who is that? Or thought struggling? Elizabeth says, Namaste, Namaste. You see. It's kind of pain to sit on the back like this. This situation is painful to the lower back. You see. And the body will tell you that. And I've got a little cushion on the back that's supporting some pressure. You see. And it's kind of a contraction. See, mind is contracting, and that is putting a pressure on the back, and that is causing a pressure on the back, you know. So it's might have to do some different way to do this. I mean, I got the iPad, but some reason the Facebook app closes on the iPad. Maybe I need to get a new iPad. Jackie Bililo, hey Jackie, how are you? Thanks for joining. Namaste. Says, hello, I am unable to participate today, but will watch this later on to see if you address this. What is your opinion on severe mental illness? Does it have anything to do with someone being disconnected in some aspect? Is it karma, combinations of things? Perhaps. But there is no disconnection. You're not disconnected from the source. It may not have a recognition of the source, or it may not. Who knows? You see. And the mental illness could be both from physiological level or the mental level. But what Moksha Mukti sees here is perhaps most of the mental illness is stemmed from the society. See, they try to impose upon something on you, and that is not true. And the body or the mind throws up and creates that kind of situation for people to experience. So-called mental illness is actually something that we don't know. Humans do not know. You see, and humans put a label because now, you need to function in the society. Well, you cannot function in the society because now we've given you rules, and we've given you lessons, and we've given you instructions, and you're not able to incorporate that into your functionality. So we label you as this, that, and the other. You see, that's what's happening. And what Moksha Mukti is pointing you, see, don't give attention to the thought. And there is a close to someone in my family, is going through so-called mental illness, and I am also helping this person. But helping this person is going to take years, because this person has been going through such a situation for many, many years. You see, so I am trying to help this, or help this person, and I know it's going to take time, at least a year or two, to undone what has been done. And in there, Moksha Mukti simply is pointing to that person. You see, there is only pointers, and through the pointers, it's possible that this person will be healed. You see, and there is a possibilities. And what he's doing is simply he's pointing that person to the source. You see, source is, you're not disconnected, you're connected. You see, the recognition is not happening, or the experience is not happening, perhaps, or it is happening. You see, who knows? No one knows. Even the psychologists do not know. You see, they know from reading the information. They receive information. You see, and through the information, through learn words, or the phrases and words, they say, well, we're going to treat you. But in the reality, they haven't really explored themselves. They haven't really explored themselves. They haven't really know who they are. They haven't really known. They haven't really recognized who they are. They haven't really experienced their functionality within themselves, and they go and label you based on their knowledge, imposed knowledge, assumed knowledge. Everything is assumptions. Someone assumed and wrote few books, and that sounded good to so-called expert, because now he used logic, sequence, and all that, and he put nicely together, and someone will believe that, because that is nicely organized, and say, well, that is the way it is. But in the reality, they don't even know themselves. You see. Don Murray says, good morning. Good morning, Don. Thanks for joining again. Namaste. Oh, Alicia says, no, not me. Then why are you concerned, Alicia? Why are you concerned about struggle? That is not in your experiencing. Why are you concerned? Their struggle is coming from their thought. Their thought. Why are you concerned? Katie Coldan says hello. Hello, Katie. I think you've been here before. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Olga writes, oh, finally she speaks. She's been keeping quiet and just hearing. Now she has something to say. Olga says, I think I know, but would like to hear it from you. Why have you chosen different name? This name, so-called name, came in Moksha Mukti's dream. And you see, now there is attachment to the Moksha Mukti's original name. And now this new name, there is no attachment. There is no attachment of the conditionings. The old name, original name, has the attachment to the conditioning, but the new name does not have attachment to the conditioning. You see, this is simply happening fresh, and it gives that freshness. Michelle writes, Alicia, you will need to rewrite our question. MMA doesn't understand. It was a continue. Well, I could go back and read, Michelle, but like I said, I'm trying to protect my back. You see, the source is telling Moksha Mukti, protect your back. Even the body is telling that. See, when you need to protect the back, see, I don't want to go back and scroll those through. See, that's a strain on the back, you see. And when you are attentive, you see, the body will tell you that. Body will tell you a little sensation, a little pain, you see. Body will tell you not what to do, what not to do. And it's not telling Moksha Mukti that's not to do that, you see. And I may go back and if you really need it, insist, or I can go back into the desktop later on, and I can do a little video presentation based on that. But again, that's just seems like a waste of time. Now you're here, it's live, this is happening, and we can go deeper to dig deeper. You see, now we are exploring, and you're speaking about someone else, then it's difficult to explore that because that person is not here, and your experience and that person's experience is going to be different. See, we all are unique. We all have different unique experiences. However, fundamentally and essentially in the reality, how we are functioning exactly the same way, but certainly the experiencing will be different because of different aspect of who we are. For example, this is male and most of you are female, and Moksha Mukti has different behaviors, you have a different behavior, different feature, different habits. All that aspect of you has created a unique you see. And it's difficult for them to speak about someone who's not here. You see, then we will be generalizing and are assuming, and Moksha Mukti does not want to do that. So it is what it is. You see, Sarah Brewer. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining. Namaste. And Sarah says hi. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for your comment. Long comment as hi. And namaste. Alicia says, I'm trying to say that since me being sober is now a permanent solution, I feel my purpose is to help the others around me that struggle. So I was asking for your input on how to approach and advise others. I understand it's mostly derived from thought. However, most have hard time. Okay, thank you for doing that, Alicia. Certainly my back will thank you. So now it's clear that you're trying to help someone. Maybe you are in the profession of helping someone, you see. And in there, you can do many things to help someone. But what Moksha Mukti is pointing is that when you help yourself first, you can help others, you see. What Moksha Mukti is pointing you to the source, and the source itself will guide you on how to help that person who is struggling, you see. And that's why Moksha Mukti repeatedly, see, some people it's probably boring, why does Moksha Mukti repeating so many times? And there are some people have said that written a comment, why are you repeating? Well, it's repeating because you see that it is what it is, and he's pointing you to give attention to the source. In there's a possibility, see, for you to recognize the source, for you to experience the source. And when you see the source, when you recognize the source, it's easier for you to point that to others, you see. If you don't have recognition, if you don't have that experiencing, if you don't see that, then it will be really hard for you to point that to someone, isn't it? But if you see it, experience it, it will be much easier for you to help others, you see. And all the helping in the professionally, any professional, that any help is done through thoughts, you see. And the reality, they're not helping, but it is helping through thoughts. And sometimes it could alleviate like pain, like that you go to a doctor, say I have a back pain, doctor will give you painkiller, you see. That is all stemming from the thought. And all the thought is doing that. Even taking the painkiller, you see, you're actually killing the thought, the pain that is arising from the thought. In the physiological level, there is no pain, there is no struggle. And the pain, well, there is a pain and struggle, but that pain and struggle, you can handle it. They can handle it. Anybody can handle it, you see. And what Moksha Mukti is pointing here, you see, it is for you to put your attention. And what Moksha Mukti is saying, and he's not here to help anyone. He's not helping anyone. You see, although you may perceive this as a help, you see, and it may be help in that perception, but in the reality, there is nothing to help, because he's simply pointing to something that you already have available to you. If you don't have the source, then I am giving you the source, then that will be help. But it is just pointing you to something that you already have available. I don't really consider this as a help, although you may perceive it as a help, you see. And this is not a teaching or lesson. Oh, I need to be listening at something in the app close here. This is not a teaching, this is not a lecture, this is not giving a speech, this is not giving you advice. This simply is pointing you to something that you already have within. Doing the sound check. Okay. Sound is still good. So that's what it is. And simply, you see, this is what it is. And this type of gathering, you see, is different than you trying to help someone. Moksha Mukti is not trying to help you. He is simply describing how he is functioning. You see, he's simply expressing the expression of the existence, simply expressions that is happening. And although this may be helping a lot of people, but that's not what he's trying to do. He's simply trying to express it, simply trying to point it. Because all your life you're seeking for that source. Everyone is really seeking for that source ultimately. You see, everything they do, in the reality they're seeking to recognize the source, because source demands you to recognize that, not like thought, like a forcefully, but subtly. You see, it gives you time. It's loving. You see, source is doing that. Okay? And it simply requires your attention. Nothing more, nothing less. Simply little effort. Just like how you're effortlessly breathing, but there is an effort, but if you are doing effortlessly, simply doing it naturally, and what Moksha Mukti is pointing out, that will happen to you naturally. There is possibility for you to happen it naturally. And meditation happens to you naturally, and this is sort of meditation, natural meditation. See, when you inquire, investigate all that, there is a sort of meditation, but not artificial meditation. Moksha Mukti is not telling you or asking you to close your eyes and focus on one point. See, that's the meditation taught to you by so-called other meditation masters or meditation experts and meditation teacher. Moksha Mukti is not doing that. You see, it's not necessary for you to do that. That's what Moksha Mukti is saying, and he doesn't recommend it. But when the attention is given to the source, you see, then the natural meditation occurs or happens. Like the flower blooms out of nowhere. And Alisa says, I am learning. Laugh out loud. More like a remembering. You're remembering. You knew this once you were a child, but have forgotten. Now you're remembering. You see, and that's what Moksha Mukti is pointing. The pointer is probably making you remember. Gina Lynn Ferre. Hello, Gina Lynn. Says hi. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Ali Javed writes, some months ago I developed a huge interest in the giant megalithics around the world. I am just curious what you have anything to say about these mysterious structures and what they may have to do with me. The interest, obsession even began after my first Reiki attainment. Moksha Mukti does not know Elizabeth, and he's not going to speak of something that he does not know. If he speaks something about that, that would be imagination. And Moksha Mukti does not want imagination. Imagination is thought. It sucks up your energy, and it will allow you to not function optimally. So why waste your energy imagining? You see, something that occurred. See, simply this is all dance of quantum. Universe is dancing. You are dancing. Everything is dancing. And in all this dance, everything is formed. So-called structure is formed. Building is created. You see, human beings are created, or appeared. You see, in this dance, and your experiences are created, appeared. And everything appears and disappears in this dance, quantum dance, just like the wave in the ocean, just like the hurricane that is traveling on the mainland USA, or it has already passed. See, this is all dance. Quantum is dancing, universe is dancing, everything is dancing, creating relationship between people, creating situation like this, creating gathering like this. You see, this is simply a wave or the tide or the energy that is happening. You see, everything is dancing. And why do you want to, worry about this, that, and the other, or imagine this, that, and the other? Simply is happening. Amber M. Royce. Hello, Amber. I think you've been here before. Says namaste. Namaste, Amber. Leslyn Corral Hearts says hi. Hi, Leslyn. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Kenny Guevara Clark says hello. Hello. Oh, Kerry. Says hello. Hello, Kerry. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Elizabeth Dugaro. Hey, Elizabeth, you're back. I know you've been here before. How are you today? Thanks for joining. Writes hard. Hard. Is that hard? Yeah. Namaste. See, in the source, everything is included. Even the heart is included. In the thinking, heart is not included. In the thinking will assume about the heart. Thinking will try to know about the heart, but there's a distance. Thinking will never know the heart. Thinking can assume about the heart, but never actually know in the reality. Tarsi Scott says hello. Hey, Tarsi, how are you? Multiple people are back again. Thanks for joining. Namaste. How are you today? Yulela writes, do you know what is the purpose of humanity here on earth? Yulelia Moksha Mukti has already spoken regarding this before. And he's going to repeat this again just for you. There is no purpose. Humans have really no purpose on earth. Humans' purpose is to function just as it is, to serve the universe effortlessly. It is serving the universe effortlessly without it doing any effort. Everything is simply happening. But in the synthetic reality created by the thought or the mind, you say, well, you have a purpose here. You see, for thought, for the mind, there has to be purpose. If there is no purpose or the goal, mind or thought will cease to exist or cease to function. The way your society wants you to function. I mean, there is no problem, but the society has imposed upon their condition, has conditioned you, and through the condition you are functioning, and without the purpose or the goal, you will not be able to function how the society wants you to function. You see? Perhaps the only purpose is for you to recognizing who you are. You see? Recognizing the source. You see, you are the source. You are the source. You are connected to the source. You are never separate from the source. But you are perceiving yourself as a separate, your mind body as a separate from the source. That is causing you the problem. That is causing you to look for this purpose. But in the reality, there is no purpose. Even your body knows there is no purpose. You see? Olga say, I have to go and perform my duties in our society. I shall listen to the record of this session, sending your warmth and hugs. Yes, same to you, Olga. I think you have your own business, don't you? What kind of business? I think you have your hospitality business, something like that, or I could be mistaken. Anyway, have a great day. Blessings and namaste. Elizabeth writes namaste, namaste. Roberta Bartas Caswell says, love and light to you, my friend. Same to you, blessings and namaste. And what Moksha Mukti is pointing, the love and light is already within you. It's not outside. It is already within you. See, the light, what Moksha Mukti is speaking, is darker than anything that you know, and it is brighter than anything you know. You see, that is already available within you. You see. And in the reality, it is neither dark nor light. It is simply is. And it is, of course, brighter than the sun, brighter than any stars you know. And that is already available to you. And Moksha Mukti is pointing you to that. You see, to experience, to recognize, and see. And the seeing is not like how you see with your eyes, but the seeing, you see, like how the blind person sees. You see, in the seeing. You see, how can you see the light? But you can see the light. Even the blind person can see the light. You see, that light is the source, is what Moksha Mukti is pointing out. Amber writes, source exists within all. Yes, source is here and now, and everything is source. You exist in the source, and you call yourself with your mind and body, isn't it? And your thought. That is just the appearance, appearing in the source or the consciousness as a mind, body, thought, etc. You appear yourself, and society has created you, given you, or imposing all the condition and knowledge upon you and creating you as Amber M. Royce. You see, that is a creation of the society. Society has created everything about you. You see, and that is just the expression appearing. Just like the wave appears in the ocean or a ripple appears in the ocean, similarly you appear. And that is creation created by the comprehensive collective mind. Comprehensive collective knowledge. Becky DeCow says, hello, I feel very drawn to you. Is there anything you feel I should know? No. You don't need to know anything. What you need to know and what you know is already, what Moksha Mukti knows is already available to you now, and he's pointing you to see that. And in that knowing, everything appears. Even Moksha Mukti, this live session, and whatever happening within you, in your functionality, your mind, body, thoughts, feelings, emotions, intuition, sensations, hunger, anything and everything is included in the source. And he's pointing you to that, to recognize that, to experience that, not to know. There is nothing to know in the reality. You already know. The source already knows. Knowing only to function in the society, like I need to know how to turn this phone, I need to know how to connect all this, I need to know how to type, I need to know how to broadcast, I need to know how to speak. Those are only knowing to function in the society. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to get this gathering. You see, this gathering would not have been possible without the knowledge the society provided us. So in that sense, this knowing is necessary, but in the reality, no knowing is necessary. And in this gathering, that's what Moksha Mukti is pointing out, you don't really need knowing, you see, other than the functioning, how to function, you see. And you may need to know where is the water. You may get it from your fridge or tap or in the bottle, you see, to fulfill your thirst. And even the thirst itself will demand to look for the water, you see. Good question, Becky. Alicia says, thank you very much, and keep repeating your message. Every time I would go somewhere, my mom repeated to me every time, wear your seatbelt and be safe, without even thinking about. I always put on my seatbelt. Now every time I face any situation, I hear you say, it's just thought. By the way, those of you who are watching now, Moksha Mukti also offers one-on-one session. You see, via Skype or the Facebook Messenger or via telephone. He offers one-on-one session, and you can actually, for limited time, he's offering one-on-one session. You can win one-on-one session with Moksha Mukti simply by sharing live events. Like you can share this live event on your page or on different groups, and then your name will be drawn and pulled out of a hat for you to win a free one-on-one session with Moksha Mukti, and if you are interested. And also Moksha Mukti has a page there, web page there. You can go there and request one-on-one session, and Moksha Mukti will conduct one-on-one session. In there, we go live, like either via phone or via Facebook Messenger or via Skype. So we'll be talking instead of you come and typing. We'll be talking, and we'll be going deeper into your exploration to the source. You see, and that, I think, method is more effective now. You see, we can ask each other questions to go deeper. You see, and that is more dynamic. So Moksha Mukti also offers such sessions, and you can request or you can win, by sharing these events on your wall or different groups. Anyway, I just share that information with you, little info on the side. And that type of info is necessary to function in the society. You see that you need to learn, you need to know things like that, but not this is happening. You don't need to learn, you need to know, you just need to remember or give you attention, and that attention will allow you to remember. Ali Javed writes, "That's okay. Thank you very much for your time. Much love to you." You're welcome, Ali Javed. Thanks for being here. Thanks for participating. Thanks for sharing your experiencing. And that itself is love. What you just did, you don't need to describe with words. All the words are nice, but what you just did is pure expression of love that is one to express, that wants to recognize. And what Moksha Mukti is doing is simply expression of existence. It's nothing but love. And this love is different than the love you give it to your family, friends, or romantic partner. This is simply expression of existence, and that is loving, and this is simply happening. Becky writes, "Can you tell me if I am on the right path as far as helping with my intuition? Thank you, and blessings and love to you." What you ask me is not the right path, Becky, because now you are giving power or attention to the thought, and that's not what Moksha Mukti is pointing, you see. And in the reality, you see, Moksha Mukti can't even say that's the wrong path, because whatever you do is exactly right for you. So cannot say wrong path, but he simply points you to the source. Simply points you, you see. And he simply points you to give attention to the source. It's not intuition. It's not thoughts. It's not feelings. It's not your heart. It's everything included. Not separate, like only heart, like thought is not there. Like not only intuition, like anything other than is not there. Not like gut feeling, everything is not excluded. Everything is included in there, you see. And you observe everything. And in there is a possibility for you to experience that. And there is a possibility for you to experience infinity possibilities. Possibility for you to live effortlessly. Possibility for you to create miracle in your life. And you're welcome, and blessings and love to you also. And this love is simply the love of the existence, simply expressing. And this is different love than you say that you love your family, your friends, or your spouse, or your you know, other other people, because this is simply expression. And the other love also comes from the expression, but those are diluted by the thought. See, thought dilutes that love, and it becomes love in 1 minute, and the next minute it can be hate, because now thought is saying this thought is loving and this thought is hateful. This action is loving and this action is hateful. You see, so those are all thought is doing that. Anyway, let's move on to Olivera. Hey Olivera, how are you today? Thanks for joining. Namaste. It says, hello Moksha, can you tell me way when I have to do something for me, for my growth, something will come up, like my kids will become ill or someone needs my help, something pulls me back. Thank you and much love to you. Well, that happens, Olivia. That happens. That is, it is what it is. Simply accept everything, and that allows you to experience, allows you to give time for yourself. And when you don't accept that, then that creates friction within your consciousness, friction within your functionality, and creates extra thought for you to carry that baggage unnecessarily. And so simply accept it and give attention to the source. It allows you to function efficiently, and in there it gives you more time for you. You see, accept it, and it is happening exactly how it should be. But then your thought is creating friction. Thought is causing you the problem. See, now I don't have time, I have to give time to others. And sometimes, you may not need to give time to others, but you are conditioned to give time. Well, if I don't do what I've been doing, then that person may not like it. See, that's conditioned upon you. Just a little stretch again. Body is telling Moksha Mukti to stretch, so the strain or the pressure on the back is minimized. It's kind of, if you sit here too long, you see there's a pressure on the back, and the body tells Moksha Mukti, stretch, position yourself, center yourself, whatever it does. The body tells you that. Jocelyn Lipster says, hello, any info? Jocelyn, how are you today? Thanks for joining. Namaste. Moksha Mukti is not giving info. He's simply pointing you to something that you already have within you, or something happens to his consciousness or awareness, or so-called revelation occurs. Moksha Mukti speaks, and all that is actually is nothing, is not info. It is simply expression of the existence, pointing you to give attention to your source, pointing you to that. See, there's no info here. He's not giving you info. Although you may perceive this as an info, and you may use some of his phrases, but other than that, there is no info here, there is no teaching here, there is no lessons here. It is simply expressing, and Moksha Mukti is describing how he is functioning. And in the reality, you and I are functioning exactly the same way, fundamentally and essentially. Yes, there is a different aspect of you and Moksha Mukti. Of course, Moksha Mukti is male and you are female. Your habits are different, your thoughts are different, your face looks different, everything, those are all aspects of you, those are different, you see. But in the reality, you and I are the same, we are the same source, we are one, you see, and functioning exactly how this whoever this speaker is functioning. The speaker is simply speaking, expressing. Stephanie says, trying to find out voice in the world. I do not know what you mean by trying to find a voice in the world. Stephanie, is your voice lost? Did you lose your voice? Maybe you need to go see a doctor, or drink some warm water. Stephanie says, just being. Well, just being, that you are a being, just being, but you are being through artificial thoughts, aren't you? Carol A. Meyer says hi. Hi Carol, namaste. Nikki Coco says hello. Hello, Nikki. Back again. Thanks for joining. Namaste. And Nikki says, am I on the right path? So I don't know what path you're talking about, Nikki. What path is exactly the right path for you in the reality? Okay? Because all path is pointing you to the source. You see, not forcefully like thought, subtly. You see, all path is pointing you to the source for you to experience, recognize. Be here and now in the present moment. Carol writes, can you tell me about love? How can all more love in? Love is simply the expression of existence. That's what Moksha Mukti is saying. You see, this is love. This is simply love. Because there is expression, expressing, you see. But the thought comes is that want to know love. Thought comes out and say, this is love, and that love is just the interpretation of the mind or the thought, you see. And in the reality, that love is conditional love, but this love is unconditional love, you see. And it loves unconditionally, exactly as it should, exactly how it is happening. See, the nature loves you through rain, and it also loves you through snow. You see, but for you, snow, well, now how cruel is the nature? Now it's making me cold, you see. But nature needs to do that for it to function, for it to sustain, for it to happen. And it simply happens. And your mind comes and interprets. You see, even your father, mother could yell at you, they could be mad at you, they could be saying their hate. You may perceive that they're hating you, but in the reality, they're pointing you to something. For you to learn, so just like someone was saying here, you know, I don't know who was now, say her mother kept on telling her to put the seatbelt on to make her safe, you see. Sometimes she may be yelling, put it on, you see. So those perceived as a hatred is actually love. So, you see, the nature also does that. And simply what is happening is simply love, you see. And mind is interpreting as this is love. In one thought says this is love, and the next thought says that is hatred. Is the interpretation of the mind. That's what's going on. And that's what Moksha Mukti is saying. Don't believe in your thought while you're here, even for a few seconds. You see. Nikki says, wow, makes sense. Yes, Nikki, this is simply pointers, pointing you. Carol writes, am I on the right path? Carol, did you not just ask that question? Oh, that was Nikki. Refer back to what Moksha Mukti said to Nikki, Carol. Your question repeated. So if you missed that, you may want to go back and watch it again. Dawn says, how can I help others reach higher vibration without feeling crazy? Dawn, the helping is just the assumption on your part. In the reality, you cannot help others. But yes, you can help others professionally, just like doctor is helping you to be pain-free, disease-free. So he's trying to help you in that profession. A teacher is helping you to learn something, to function in the society. That is learning. That is helping. But in the reality, there is no helping. No one can help you. Only you can help yourself, and that person can help themselves in the reality. But in the professional, it is conditioned like that. It is taught like that. And in there is a helping. But in the reality, there is no helping. You see, you don't really need to help others. Simply help yourself. Help yourself, meaning here in this gathering is that you give attention to yourself, to the source, to your source. And your source is everyone's source. And when you recognize the source, you see, the source will guide you to help others if it's necessary. And that source will help you effectively, efficiently. You see. And everyone has a vibration, you see. Everyone has a vibration. Everyone produces vibration, you see. And feeling crazy is also stem from the thought. Thought is saying that, feeling crazy. You see, and there is no higher vibration or the lower vibration. Everything is simply vibrates. and mind interprets as this is lower vibration and this is higher vibration. In the reality, it's simply vibrations. Everything is vibrations. The universe is vibrating. Universe is dancing. You see, these are all the vibration of the quantum, or the dance of quantum, or the vibration of the universe, or the dance of the universe. And this actually has been validated that when the universe vibrating right now is producing sound called Om. You see, and somehow in ancient India, these yogis have already discovered that this is the sound of the universe, Om, and they've been saying that, to calm their mind or whatever, you see. But Moksha Mukti doesn't recommend that. But if you want to do it, do it. And now that sound, Om sound, has been validated by Vail Laboratory, that universe is actually producing sound like Om. It's been validated. You see, and these are all the vibrations. Gina Lynn writes, can we really be harmed by magic, negative energy? If so, how can we break a spell or protect ourselves from any negative energy directed toward us? What are some ways? Gina Lynn, Moksha Mukti is not going to speak regarding that because, see, all those negative energy, black magic and so-called, are stem from the thought, and Moksha Mukti is not going to speak about thought, because thought is imagination. Yes, perhaps you can imagine about black magic and create a spell on other person. Perhaps it can be done. That is imagination. Moksha Mukti is not pointing you to that. He's not even pointing you to believe in the thought. So if you believe in the thought, you are bound by the thought spell. If someone can spell, you are bound by the thought spell. But in the source, when you are free from the attachment from the thought, no one can put a spell on you. You see, even if they put a spell on you, you're not bothered by it. You're not agitated by it. You see, because now what is happening is you are functioning freshly, effectively, efficiently, and optimally. You see, and no one can actually give you that spell if they can. You see, and even the karma, you see, the Moksha Mukti spoke about the karma in different occasions. Even the karma is related to the thought. So whatever you're thinking, it is coming from your karma or the past deeds. If such thing occurs or such thing is true. But the DNA is there, and you're thinking, there are some scientists that are saying that through DNA you are thinking like that. You see, and if you're thinking, then you are connected to the thought, and that will affect you. Your past karma will affect you. However, by giving attention to the source, you can cleanse your karma. You see, because now you become pure, you become fresh, and you function freshly, not bound by the past. Here and now in the present moment, like the fire that's burning, you see. The flame that is burning in the present moment, simply you can burn, not literally burn, but that the light or that energy is burning, like the sun's core. You see, that's always burning, and you can experience that. You see, subtly, not like the forcefully. You see, even the sun is burning subtly, but to us, to the thought, it appears like forceful. You see, but sun is happening subtly, moon is happening suddenly, earth is happening suddenly. Even now, earth is moving at the speed of 65,000 miles per hour subtly. You see, for it there is effortless, simply happening. And our whole solar system is moving at the speed of 45,000 miles per hour. And it's dragging all the planets, all the meteors, all the subplanets or the satellite like moon and everything. The whole solar system is traveling at the speed of 45,000 miles per hour, and the whole earth is moving at the speed of 65,000 miles per hour. That's what's happening, right? Everything is dynamically happening. You see, that's why all the experiences changes, everything changes, because this is simply dance of quantum. Everything is dancing, everything is vibrating, you see, and mind is interpreting that. thought is interpreting that. Becky says, very true. Thank you. You're welcome, Becky. Again, Moksha Mukti also want to point out that don't take this as a truth. Don't accept this as truth, what Moksha Mukti is pointing or speaking. It is truth to Moksha Mukti, but it is not truth to you until you see that in your functionality, you validate, verify in your functionality, and then it becomes truth for you. Just the pointer. Sanchez, Lucinio, Alicia. Hello, Sanchez. Alicia, did you change your name? Says, I need guidance. Can you tell me anything? Yes, Alicia, don't believe in your thoughts. For a few seconds to however long you can, don't believe in it. You don't need guidance. Your thought is telling, I need guidance. I need guidance. You see, our thought is saying that. Don't believe in it. Give attention to the source. Observe the thought. Jesse Ann says, I want to know when, if ever, I will have my own child. Can you tell me? I wanted to know for a very long time. Jesse, I think this is the second time you asked this question in this Moksha Mukti gathering. Moksha Mukti is not a psychic or fortune teller or astrologer, so he does not know. You see, whether you have a child or you don't have a child is exactly this is how exactly that is. You see, it is what it is. However, what Moksha Mukti is pointing you to the source. When you give attention to the source, when you recognize the source, if you really desire a child, then there is a possibility for you to see the miracle, a possibility for you to create miracle in your life, for you to get the child. You see, and again, the question you asked, he's giving the same answer. So this is the second time. Becky says, thank you. I hope to create miracles for myself and others. You are very helpful. Do not worry about others. You see, when you worry about others, then the miracle cannot be created. Create miracle for yourself, and that itself allows other to create miracle. You see, in the reality, there are no others. See, there is only you. That is the source. There is only one. You see, and the perception that perceived that you and I are different is the perception perceived in the mind. In the reality, we're not different. We're not separate. So do not worry about others. Try, give attention to yourself. Help yourself. See, and in there, it creates possibility for you to project it outward. And you're not trying to project it outward. It just happens. You see, just like the fruit. Fruit is happening in the tree. Vegetables. Grain. Everything, it blooms. A fruit appears in the tree or the plant. You see, simply appearing and disappearing. You see. And you take the fruit and you eat. And existence expressing itself and giving you all the fruits. See, expression happens when expression simply you express your expression through the source, naturally, not by forcefully by thought or imagination, but naturally, then others will be helped. Just like right here, Moksha Mukti is not helping, Moksha Mukti is not helping you. He is simply helping himself, recognizing the source, expressing the expression of the existence. Simply, he is describing how he is functioning. He is not helping you, but in the maybe in this gathering, many people are coming back and saying you're helping. See, so that can happen in your functionality, in your experiencing also. See, effortlessly. The moment you try to say, well, I'm going to help this person, then that itself, you're limiting yourself to the thought, versus In the source, there are infinity possibilities, effortlessly. JD writes, explain to us what the source is. And in the meantime, I gotta check it to make sure the sound is coming out right. And do you think that we've been here since the start of the universe and we will be here eternally? Again, JD, don't accept this as truth. Although Moksha Mukti is speaking the truth, until you see that inner functionality, this is not truth to you. So Moksha Mukti is going to speak. You can accept it, reject it, stay in the neutral, is entirely up to you. And he doesn't mind. Okay? But he's going to describe how he sees. And he sees you are connected to the source. Everything is connected to the source, and everything is the source. And source has always been here. Yes. And in the reality, you have always been here. And there was no beginning, there is no ending. In the reality, your body will end when universe get the use from your so-called service by being here. And so he's just moving you here and there. He's placing you here now, and he'll take it anytime, and he can place it somewhere, or universe can place it somewhere else. It's just recycling, shuffling the energy. You see, in that body level, there is a duration, and that recycles. And there is no death in the body level, because even the body knows there is no death. Simply recycling of the energy for universe to sustain itself. You see. Checking the sound. Universe to sustain. Sound is coming good. And throat is kind of dry here. So Moksha Mukti is going to take a little break. Drink water. Those of you who are watching, cheers. And also time to stretch. You don't want to strain too much on your back. Moksha Mukti's body is telling Moksha Mukti, stretch. There's a pressure on the back, and that is not good for the body. And the body lets Moksha Mukti knows, no, hey, Moksha Mukti, stretch. Relieve some pressure. Because by sitting here and reading the comment on the small phone, it's creating pressure on Moksha Mukti's back. And it can happen this to you, or it is happening to you. That body is telling you a lot of messages, giving you a lot of messages. Olga, you are still here. Says you are right. I have my own business. I provide 24/7 care to the elderly and disabled people. They live in our house until they pass away. Okay. So I knew that maybe it's a psychic energy. But Moksha Mukti doesn't call the psychic. You see, there may be psychic energy present, and Moksha Mukti can do something like this, but he's not here to give you reading. Okay, those of you listening, coming here is a give reading. Moksha Mukti does not give you reading. Okay, just to be clear. Sherry Louise says, Namaste, my lovely. Hey, Sherry. Louise, love. Oh, low, sorry. I read a low. Either way, lovely. Love, it's all good. Says, Namaste, my lovely. Namaste. and I think that is the UK. And Namaste UK. I know she's from UK, and that is that's how people I guess they greet in UK, saying my lovely. Well, that's really nice. But in the US, we don't say that my lovely, but it's okay. It's okay because this is not a US, although Moksha Mukti is based in the US. What is happening is universal. You see, here, at least for now, for a few minutes, see, we are a universal citizen. You see. But thanks for joining again, Sherry. How are you today? Namaste. Loretta says, hello. Need enlightenment on family and grief. See my family turning against one another saddens my heart. That happens, Loretta. You can remain yourself calm by giving attention to the source, not sucked into their thoughts and their drama. Their drama is created by their thoughts, and your thought, if you're giving thought to that, then you'll get sucked into it. And Moksha Mukti point out, don't believe in it, and you will be drama free, and you may be able to be a mediator and calm them down. Christine Wilson says, I would like to know if I should move on from my current job. Thank you.